Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ahmad Mustakim, and I'm from class 5AG2. So in this challenge, I would like to doing my mid test. So let me begin. What is the first question is what is the reason for learning discourse analysis? The reason for learning what the big reason for learning discourse analysis because the relationship between the other education, the other knowledge that is linguistic anthropology, and because the discourse analysis is related with the relationship between sociology, anthropology, uh, psychology, philosophy, uh, communication, and also education. So the the only reason is because this study is uh, leads for student to explore and investigate of social use to the text or to the language. And the second question is, what do you know about traditional grammar, structuralism, as well as functionalism, in which theories those discourse analysis come to be existence? So, according to the Smith, 2003, what is traditional grammar? Traditional grammar is the era that focused on uh, the formation of sentence, the formation of sentence, that is morphology, and formation of uh, the formation of words, that is morphology, and of sentence, that is syntax. And in functionalism era, the structuralism era, uh, the focus, according to the SIA opinion in 2014, focused the examining the language. So uh, in structuralism is focused to the examining language, and as the state system of uh, interconnected units. And the functionalism, uh, it's focused on the functional of the text, functional of the language itself. So when which the theorist just discourse analysis comes to be existent is the existence about discourse analysis is in functionalism era, because it's talking about the in this functionalism era, it's talking about the grammatical sociolinguistic discourse, and also the strategic of text. So in functionalism functionalism is also talking about the teaching, and that is the component of discourse analysis. So I think discourse analysis is to be existence in functional era. And the third question is, what do you know about the discourse and discourse analysis? So the difference between them. So for simply answer for me, discourse is reverse to uh, talking about the use language in text or speech. So in discourse analysis is analyze uh, the language that used. The discourse analysis talking about the using analyzing for using language. So before uh, the difference between them, it's discourse is uh, how to use the language, and in analyze discourse analysis is talking about analyzes the language in use before uh, before the discourse. So the first thing uh, that is also important is discourse analysis. So we must know about the discourse, we must analyze the discourse first before we speech. Yeah. And the first question is, what do you want to know about the form and functional, and do they river same in language use and discourse analysis? In my mind, reverse form reverse to the name of a thing along the name of a thing along with its definition. And functionals reverse to uh, how a thing is acting, how a thing is operating. So uh, if we're talking about the form and functional, form is it just talking about the uh, form is just talking about the grammar, just talking about uh, the form, just talking about the the words. But if we talking about the functional text is talking about uh, the meaning of the text. It's talking about the how can it be act or operating. Like if you're talking about the form, it's just talking about the words, the uh, the words used, like a grammar or something like that. But if you're talking about the how can we say that? If you're talking about the functional, we can know the meaning of the text. Like for example, when I meet with a girl and then I say that uh, I say for her, like, I love you, then this girl is say, what about if you looking for a mirror first? So that's the meaning of this. What about if you looking for a mirror first? It means that she reject me, but uh, it's not strictly say that thing, because the functional of this tag is reject or something like that. And the fifth question is, what is the spoken discourse and the relationship between discourse analysis? So the spoken discourse is actual representation of language, of speaking. So it's representation of speaking, and uh, spoken discourse is the result of discourse analysis. So the result of discourse, that is two types of discourse. The first is text, and the second is spoken speech. So uh, the spoken discourse is the ideas that inform, that acting, yeah, that action from uh, the discourse itself. So a language verbally using by speech in communication. And then it's also talking about the system of sounds, and what the relationship between discourse analysis and spoken discourse is. Before we before we speech with a spoken discourse, we must analyze the discourse first. So uh, it can help us to understand and how to deliver these ideas, this discourse. So it's also talking about, are the function of this text is used or useless. I mean, uh, it is the purpose of this text is catch or is understand for the target of speakers, or the, we say, the participant of conversation. For example, are they understand about, how can they understand? So functional of it's function of discourse analysis. So we analyzes the discourse first. We analyzes the discourse first, uh, and then uh, and then we can spoke this discourse. We can be a speakers for discourse. So it will help us to know about uh, know about the functional of I mean, it's also help us to understand the target, understand the participant, or understand the uh, people around us with learning discourse before we spoke. And so before we speak, before the spoken discourse, uh, we can use the right language to before we spoke. We can use the right sentence, the right words, the right language before we speak. And the next question is, the sixth question is, what do you know about the classroom conversation and uh, casual conversation? The classroom conversation, uh, the classroom conversation is special variety of all language that's used by uh, language and that's used by the teacher and student. It's talking about the ethics of language, that student how can student how the student language to his teacher, and also the teacher ethics for his student. And uh, I mean in the conversation about the student and teacher, there is a classroom conversation. And then the casual conversation, it's the conversation outside the classroom. So I mean, in the real life. For example, uh, for the social conversation. So if we're talking about the classroom conversation and casual conversation, it's talking about the formal and informal conversation. For example, in class, we must if we want to answer the question, or if we want to asking for something, we must raise our hand first, or something like that. But in casual conversation, we didn't must doing that. I mean, if you want to asking, if you want to explain something, we just doing that without raising our hand, or another sign, or something like that. So the last question is the number 7. So that is, in your opinion, what do language learner needs to be successful is using the language or something like that. Language skill in the real life. So in my opinion, according to my opinion, me as the language learner, uh, that is important thing to make the language is successful and used. That is, this is the important thing, that is, learn the discourse analysis. So with the discourse analysis, we can it can help us to reduce the misunderstanding, to reduce the mistakes in language. So uh, it also can make us to improve our skill to how can we implement, how can the ideas implementing in speech, how can we speak in social reality, in so it's also talking about, um, it will I mean, it will help us in the other condition, like uh, we must know about the purpose of discourse. So uh, we can how to say that, uh, we can make the we can deliver these ideas, we can deliver our ideas, we can deliver uh, our material, uh, we can deliver uh, we can I mean, we can deliver uh, our opinion to our target, so they can easily can understand what uh, what we talking for. So it also can improve me as the learner of language, uh, understand about what the right language, what the right sentence can I use in this situation. For example, what can I do, what can I what the language will used in classroom, for example, or in outside of classroom, like in real society. What the language that can be used in formal and informal condition. So I think that's all for this video. Thank you for your attention. Last uh, say Last I say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.